If somebody offered you a diesel Ford car that had done 239,000 miles, you'd probably give it a wide berth. If somebody offered you a diesel Ford car that had done 239,000 miles and had been seized by the police, you'd almost certainly give it a wide berth. And today, I'm in the truck with the trailer on the back and no prizes for guessing what I'm going to pick up. This is where I was hoping to cut to a nice little montage of me loading the trailer and strapping the car down and all that lovely stuff. But on the day in a busy salvage yard, I didn't really have time to mess around filming and stuff, so I had to just throw it on there and get on the move. My little trailer is just big enough for moving little cars like this around. I bought it to move the Citroen around, so obviously significantly smaller than even the smallest of cars, and it's great at doing that. You're kind of pushing the limit size-wise, not weight or anything like that, but actual physical size, even with something like a Ford car. So it was a bit of a squeeze, got it on there, got it strapped down, got on the way. The Maxus actually coped with towing it really, really well. People say you can't tow with an EV. Well, actually, maybe you can. But the moment you've all been waiting for, here it is in all its glory. This is a 2009 Mark II Ford car, 1.3 diesel, and according to the auction listing from the salvage auction I bought it from, it has done 239,000 miles. And the reason it ended up at the salvage auction is that it had been seized by the police. So either the person that owned it before was up to no good and it was taken off them to stop them from doing whatever crime they were doing, or it wasn't insured, or any of the other reasons the police could seize a car from you. Therefore, we're probably not dealing with the best, well-kept, well-maintained example of a car you can imagine, and I think that becomes clear when you see the state of the interior. Seat covers are always a red flag for me. I hate to think what's lurking underneath them, and you can tell, I think, my suspicions about the person maybe being a little bit naughtier than just having no insurance are validated by the fact that it looks like someone has been right through this car. The back seats are out, the glove box, like fuse box cover was off, the kick panel and the below the steering wheel have been taken off. Someone has been looking to see if there's anything stashed in this car. They even had the trim around the gear stick off and stuff like that. I think someone has been a very naughty boy or girl indeed. But there we are. The Mark II diesel Ford car with 239,000 miles on the clock. Well, turns out I found a way to immediately add some value to this car. So it said on the salvage listing that the odometer reading was 239,400 and whatever miles. But as it turned out, as I noticed the very first time I got in it, the odometer was set to kilometers for some reason. So you can go into the settings and you can change it to miles, and immediately we've massively reduced the mileage because it's actually only done 148,000 miles. That is a really big difference. And okay, yes, either represents a pretty high mileage car that is of limited appeal to people, but 149,000 miles versus 239,000 miles is a massive, massive difference. And it makes a huge difference in how desirable it is if you come to sell it on. We'd made that revelation, and also the fact that it had more than half a tank of diesel in it, which I definitely think doubled its value. It was time to set about cleaning it. And basically, for the outside, I just chucked a bucket of water over it, because at this stage, it's really just about seeing what's underneath all the filth. It's been in a salvage yard, it's covered in bird crap. Just chuck a bucket of water over it and get it sort of semi-presentable before taking it inside to do any work to it. And on the inside, it was literally just bin everything. Bin the seat covers, bin the mats, bin any rubbish that was in there, bin the toothbrush I found in the back seat. And there was thankfully nothing worse than that. But what I did find, which was a little bit of a result, was there was a driver's side wing mirror in the back. So despite the fact the wing mirror obviously was broken and hanging off, I'm guessing that didn't happen with whatever encounter with the police that it had, because a replacement mirror was in the back. So whoever had it was clearly planning on repairing the mirror. And that was a bit of a result, because a second-hand mirror is about 50 quid. So the fact we could stick that mirror on, make it road legal, was definitely a result. And the first thing I wanted to do with this car after giving it a bit of a clean was just get it sort of road legal. So mirrors, lights, all that kind of stuff, that means that you can at least road test it. In the condition it came to me in, you'd even be pushing your luck taking it out on the road at all. The front bumper was hanging off, the mirror was broken, and lots of the lights didn't work and stuff, so it really would be a little bit ropey, even just taking it down the road just to see, give it a bit of a shakedown, see what works and what doesn't. A little bit naughty to be doing that if even the basics aren't there at all. So, got the mirror on. Thankfully, the glass from the old mirror was perfectly fine, so we managed to put that on. I actually think even the black painted cap will be fine as well, but it has a red one on for now. That'll do. And I set about changing bulbs in the rear lights because the brake lights weren't working and that kind of stuff, and that's all good. And then I encountered a little bit of a problem. So the front end, obviously, it was quite clear it had been in a bit of some kind of skirmish, possibly with the police at the moment it was seized. The front bumper was flapping around, the passenger side headlight was flapping around, and therefore it was clearly going to be a little bit of a job in hand to get everything working. The indicators weren't working, and the side lights weren't working and stuff. So in order to sort all that out, what I ended up actually doing was stripping it down and putting a new set of headlights on. I managed to pick up a set of pattern headlights for a reasonable enough price, and I thought, whilst I was trying to avoid spending any money, it's obviously important that it has a full complement of lights and that it's all working. And the headlights that were there, so obviously the passenger side one was broken, it was hanging off. The driver's side one had clearly been broken before by driving into something, and it had been really badly bodged back together with like self-tappers and little bits of metal and stuff to try and reinforce it. And it wasn't secure and it wasn't great. And the indicator on that side wasn't working because the bulb holder had actually been smashed and it wouldn't make contact. And there was just, you got to the point where it's not worth trying to salvage these old parts. So we've got a brand new set of headlights on there, which look fantastic in fairness. And then we've got the front bumper back on. We've got it secured in place. I'll need a new number plate to obviously finish off the front end. But the front bumper's on, it's secure. It doesn't look like it's been in a crash anymore, which is nice. And all the lights work. And that really is all we're going to do with this at the moment. Let's take a look at what it looks like now that it's had a bucket of water thrown over it. The interior has been slightly deminged and the headlights have been changed. And I think you'll agree that is a massive transformation. It actually looks like a car that just about belongs on the public road now. Join me next time where I delve into the mechanical issues with this car. It is not all rosy. There's a few things that are definitely going to need some attention. And hopefully we can keep that part spend to a minimum, because I've already spent a little bit on a pair of headlights. And realistically, I mean, what is this car going to be worth when it's finished? It does have an MOT until February next year, believe it or not. I'm not sure it should have one based on the shunting it around and some of the issues it has. But hopefully if we sort out some of the mechanical issues, it will make someone a half decent running, driving car. So if you want to see that, make sure you do subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching so far, and I'll see you next time.